talking about video games. Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Donkey Kong Artists Podcast, the #1 podcast among listeners of the Donkey Kong Artists Podcast. That's right. You can look it up. I'm Patrick Shanley. I'm joined, as always, by my best friend and co-host, Edmund Arnold. Edmund, what's up?
What's up, Pat? How you doing?
My voice is really high because I was in the altitude of Reno, and then I came down.
Oh, yeah, that altitude will mess your voice up, too.
Yeah, that's what it does.
Did you pick up that nifty hat in Reno? Is that why you're wearing a hat today?
Do you like this hat?
Yeah, I do like this hat. I thought it was gonna have like a little trailer that says "trailer trash" because that's all we wear in Reno. That Reno trash.
It'd be accurate too to me and my entire family lineage. There's a lot of video game news. I'm not sure if you know that, but today, which is Thursday, July, whatever the hell it is, July 8th, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever.
What's time?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Sony had another state of play today. Their first one since when was the last one? May, I think, right? It was right before.
It was Horizon, right?
It was all about Horizon. This one had a lot more stuff
about.
in it.
Yeah, it had some stuff in it.
This one was okay. I think it was a little bit, I don't know, if Deathloop is your headliner. Deathloop looks fine, right? I don't know how else to
Deathloop looks great. I'm not saying fine. I think Deathloop looks great.
I think it looks fun. I like the aesthetic of it. I feel like the main gameplay mechanic of it barely even seemed to be focused on. Like that you have a death loop. It just looked like a shooter to me.
Well, it's like you have so many roguelikes now. It's like, what can you do to set yourself up? You know, and I think Deathloop would have been different if Hades didn't eat everybody's lunch last year. But I think the fact that Hades was such a big roguelike and it did everything perfect, it's going to be hard for Deathloop to set itself apart from the rest of the roguelikes. The thing that's going for it is that it's a first-person shooter. There's a lot of first-person shooter roguelikes out there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm actually interested to hear this because does it count as a roguelike then?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I mean, what are the characteristics of a roguelike? Like, do we have to like go through and like check them off to see if it like adds up?
I think
do you go to jail if you're wrong? Like they come and they take you away to video.
I'm pretty sure you can go to Twitter jail, but
the worst jail of all the jails. It's like a gulag.
But it's just a procedurally generated, the levels are procedurally generated. If you die, you get another chance to go again, right?
Yeah, that's the death loop in the death loop, I guess. I don't know. It just sure. I don't know. What does that add really to the game? I wish I would have seen more about that mechanic because it just seems like, to me, I thought it was baked into the entire concept of the game. Like everything would work around it. And I guess it does. But to me, it seemed a little lacking. Like it doesn't really matter that there's a death loop.
It seems like the game is going all in on the loop system, right? So it seems like the more loops you do, the more you learn about your target. I think that's cool because it seems like you're a hitman. You're a hit woman. You're playing your main character. You're a hit person, right? You're a hit gender neutral person.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
And you go through and it seems like every run you learn more about I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't watch it because I want to go into Deathloop not knowing anything.
Is that so you dropped out of the state of play?
I dropped out. As soon as I dropped in because I wanted to see what they were going to say about Sifu because that is my most anticipated game right now. That's the game that I really want to see. I honestly didn't think, I even tweeted, I was like, I don't think they're going to drop anything about Sifu. And then like literally right after I tweeted that, they dropped it.
You look like an idiot. Yeah.
I look like a big, dumb, fat
and that's what everyone
idiot.
was saying. They're like, man, Edmund's a stupid, idiot piece of human garbage.
Beat him up, jump him, kill him. That's what they're saying. I can't say
I disagree. I think they have a point.
You know, they're right. I was wrong on Twitter, therefore I deserve to be killed.
Yes. Well, those are the rules of Twitter and Twitter jail.
I should have known better.
You know what? Screw Deathloop. Let's just talk about Sifu because that game looks freaking awesome.
I don't know. Don't screw Deathloop. No.
I don't care about Deathloop. You're all into Deathloop.
Like, take Deathloop out to dinner. Like, buy Deathloop some flowers. Don't just screw Deathloop and leave it on the corner.
Was it worth 9 minutes of this show? Like, is it that much of a bigger game than all the other games that they showed? Like, it was a weird mix of a lot of indie. But I don't know what's it called. I now can't remember. The Last Judgment, I think, is what the actual title is.
Don't talk about my Last Judgment right now because Last Judgment looks good. Don't talk about my Last Judgment. Don't say anything negative about my Last Judgment.
It's Lost Judgment. I'm a stupid idiot. Now I got to go to Twitter jail. Yeah. It looks great, and I would have rather have seen 9 minutes on that game. I said,
Yeah, but would the masses have wanted to see 9 minutes of a Yakuza style type game?
do the masses want to see 9 minutes of Deathloop, a brand new
Arcane
IP?
Studios is real popular, man.
They like hid the fact there was Arcane Studios in Bethesda. Like
I,
I know that, but I mean, it was barely even in there. It's like a little subtitle.
that's the thing, though. Do you really need to announce it again? Because we've seen so much of Deathloop.
And we have. I feel like it's been at every single event. Even like Phil Spencer was tweeting about it today. He was like, "It's cool to see Deathloop, no matter where it is."
and it's multi-platform too, right? Is it?
I believe so.
But it's a PlayStation exclusive for a time, so that means it's going to be
Probably is
released
some of those stupid
on.
timed exclusive things.
Okay, so I just don't know why. Okay, it looks like it's going to be released on PlayStation 5 and Windows.
But then on Windows, so is this like the new? How could there be, if it's published by Bethesda and Bethesda is owned by Microsoft? How could it not be an Xbox?
I think this is their last PlayStation
I'm
title.
I'm surprised they were able to even. How do they even do that? You know?
Well, maybe I think maybe Sony should have leaned in with that more. Like, this is the last chance you'll get to play a Bethesda. I know that's hyperbole, but this is your last opportunity to ever play a Bethesda game, a new Bethesda game on PlayStation. Like, going with that.
I just don't understand. If you spent $7 billion and you're gonna lose one game, like why? Like that should have been part of the deal. You spent $7 billion on this. Who negotiated that?
And the game was already being developed at the time when they made the deal. So I think you probably can't negotiate games in development that have already signed contracts.
No, bullshit, you can't. For $7 billion, you can come in there. You can put Phil Spencer into the game.
And we don't know the logistics, but there had to be some type of contract that was signed that's, before they made this announcement.
I just think that's crazy. I think it's funny that I think I'm just now like realizing this too. I don't think anyone's been talking about this, which seems like a very strange thing. Especially, okay, then this is the other thing too, because what was it, fucking Starlink? I can never remember the name of this.
Starlink was the Nintendo Switch game with the toys.
Too many of them, and then Stargate. Now I forget again. Starlink.
Starlantis. Yes,
Starlantis. That's it.
It should be called Starlantis.
Yeah, with Starburst, people were upset that it was going to be an Xbox exclusive game, even though Xbox spent $7 billion for it. I don't see anybody upset about Deathloop being a PS5 exclusive game. Why? Because Sony's used to that. I'm just not reading those tweets.
I think it's because it could possibly still be released on Xbox. Maybe like once this deal, fully goes through, then they'll make an announcement that it's coming to Game Pass. I mean, it's still early, so we still don't know. But like, I honestly think that we're going to see it for Xbox.
I don't know how you couldn't
It looks like it's a
publisher.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like it has a time exclusive on it.
It's not time exclusive. It's just PS5 and then Windows. And then for Windows, you can get it on PC, but I don't know. And that opens another question, right? Like if Microsoft owns basically what is like, if you say PC, it's almost a default that it's going to be Microsoft, right? That they're so entrenched in that space. So does it even matter if you have an Xbox exclusive?
That's what I'm saying. If it's for PC? Windows, do we think it's going to be eventually released for Microsoft, right? Because it seems like
why would you spend $7 billion and not get one of the games?
That's why I think we're just talking about a mute point. I think it's going to be you're going to see it on Microsoft. I mean, because Microsoft owns it. So I keep saying you're going to see it on Microsoft. You're going to see it on Xbox, and because Microsoft owns it.
Yeah, but right now it's only on PlayStation and on Windows, and that is very, very strange to me. I don't understand.
Well, as of Tech Radar, it seems like Microsoft will remain a PS5 time exclusive until September 14th, 2022.
Wait, where did that number come from? Who's this?
This is Tech Radar. Nick Pino. It just hot off the presses 41 minutes ago.
Pino, whatever. Pinot, like a nice Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir.
Look, wine guy. All I'm saying is that I don't know where you're getting information. I'm not seeing that information. I'm very confused by what's going on. Maybe they're letting it run a death loop before they get it up. Like, whoa, this game doesn't do that well, and then we'll kind of get in. I just think it's weird to spend $7 billion on something and not get every single game that company makes. You should get everything. You get the furniture inside. You get, the people who put together like the nice packaged lunches that they get at Bethesda that I've heard about.
You get to walk to anyone who works for their studio's home and kick your feet up on their couch for $7 billion. You should be able to do that.
Frankly, I mean, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
You can eat whatever's in their fridge.
You can
It's
take
all
their
inclusive.
kids to Disneyland without their consent. Like, you can do
Kick
whatever
their
you
kids.
You beat up their kids. You can slap their kids, like that show, The Slap, that I think about all the time. Like, you can do all that stuff.
Hey, what's the slap?
You never see that Zachary Quinto show
Where he slaps people?
he slaps a kid. He slaps his neighbor's kid. So, like, let's say I go to your house, right?
Was it a comedy?
It's no, it was a drama. And
It was a drama about
I
a
think
dude
it made,
slap
like,
somebody else's kid.
It's called The Slap. Like, it was on NBC.
Is
So, like,
this real?
I go to your house. You and I are friends, and your child is just going off the hook. Like,
Yeah.
your child is just being a stinker, and I go up to him and I'm like, you know what? Stop that. And that's what the show is about. The show
I mean,
is
an
about
entire show out of Spock slapping some kid in the face.
fallout of Zachary Quinto slapping his friends' kids.
Are they going to get multiple seasons out of this?
You got to watch the YouTube video because he slaps the shit out of that kid. He just comes in and he's like, bam, stop it.
Well, if you're going to slap a kid, I mean, you might as well get your money's worth.
Might as well. So, but yes, for $7 billion, you can slap people's kids.
What network was this on? Why does this exist?
Guess what network it was on? I'll give you one guess.
NBC, 100%. Woo! Still got it.
Still got it. Still got it. But
God,
it's The Slap. And it had like Uma Thurman, Thandie Newton. Like, it had a cast in that
What
show.
the hell is going on with this show?
Yeah.
Did you slap a white kid or was it a black kid?
It was a white kid.
Okay.
No, now if it was released, it'd be you slap a black kid. And then
well, I'm saying like that
Yeah.
adds another element to it. If I was writing the show and you wanted to get juicy, you know.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can tap into there with that.
Jesus Christ, I can't believe
Yeah,
this
I'm
is-
pretty sure Zachary Quinto was like in an interracial relationship too. Like, I don't know. It was
on
a
the
bunch of stuff.
show. This is a weird show. I'm gonna be watching.
Watch the clip. When I post this, I'm gonna post a clip of The Slap because it's but don't hit kids. Hitting kids is not funny, but man, the way that was edited.
No, but to make an entire game out of it,
it was
Or a
funny.
TV show, whatever the hell. There should
And it
be
was
a game.
based on something too. I don't know if it was based on a real event or
Like
it
a
was some
novel.
crazy. Like 2015 and during NBC's tenure was a crazy time.
Yeah,
a
we got
crazy
some
time.
great pieces of art like Zachary Quinto just jacking some kid in the face. Speaking of punching people in the face or slapping them, whatever you want to do, Sifu. Let's talk about Sifu. I want to talk about it. It looks awesome. Basically, the entire game is you just going around and getting into bar brawls, but you also age.
Yeah, you age when you die. So
Yeah,
I
which
think
is
this
amazing.
mechanic is chef's kiss. So it seems
Thank
like
you.
you start in your 20s. Every time you die, you age up.
You should start as a
Guys-
kid, and Zachary Quinto slaps you in the face, and then the whole game is
That
getting revenge.
ages you up like 10
Zachary
years.
Quinto.
And then you start. But it sounds like, yeah, you're going through, I don't know, it's like a revenge tale or something. I don't know. But it sounds like every time you die, you age up, but you can't age internally.
Yeah,
So
eventually
like-
you did.
Yeah,
You
die, and then you have
Yeah.
to start all over. That chef's kiss.
So that sounds way better than Deathloop to me, with a very kind of similar thing. Deathloop is like you're invincible. This is like sort of the same concept, except you're not invincible, and this seems like way more interesting. And it's hilarious to me that they have it in the same presentation.
But different game. Deathloop.
I know they are.
first-person
I'm just
shooter.
saying
This
it's-
is an Absolver. And I don't know how many people play Absolver. The fighting mechanics in that game were really good. So the fact that they're taking out that always online, and it seems like it's actually a not first person, sorry. It's a full story with just one person, right?
Yeah.
Single player experience. So I think this game might come out and surprise a lot of people in 2022. I was a little upset. I thought it was going to be like one of those sneak 2021 December. Maybe I even thought it was going to like an October release.
Yeah. I think that's what's weirdest to me about this game. Not that the game doesn't look great and it looks awesome. I'm wondering how long this game is. I'm putting it in my mind as like a AA, like $30 game. Maybe I'm wrong. So I was a little surprised that it got delayed.
I hope it's not longer than 10 hours.
Yeah, so it's a little strange. I mean, now I'm really naive, and there's a lot of people work on these, and lots of things could delay it. But it seems like an odd game to get that type of delay. To me,
Yeah, especially when we've seen a lot of it, right? It seems like we've seen a lot of gameplay, and it seems like this was one of those indie titles that was hyped up immensely over the last year.
it's another exclusive, which isn't surprising. I feel like everything that was shown is. But this is an Epic Game Store exclusive along with PlayStation. You want to talk about a company that people get angry at whenever
Good for Epic Games. They're still making these moves. They need them.
Why would they not be? Again, all of this, I'm just so confused by the backlash on these things. Maybe it's just I'm a different generation. People just expect everything all the time, which brings me to another point, which was funny about this. They had to explicitly put that there's no God of War or like Horizon.
You have to.
I
You
know,
have to.
because people are so spoiled that they'll lose their mind if it's not in there. It's ridiculous. Like you're
Well, I think Nintendo started it, right? Where Nintendo had to be like, I think it was maybe 2 years ago, no, 3 or 4 years ago when they started, because people were always clamoring for something. I think it was Pokemon. I think it was Pokemon. And like every Nintendo Direct that they released, it was like, this isn't Pokemon.
yeah.
Ah! So they finally would just put out the disclaimer. Look, dummies, we're not going to give you this. We're not going to give you this. So shut the hell up. You're going to give us we're going to give you what we want to give you. You're going to sit there and you're going to take it with a smile.
Bring it back to the slap yet again. But if a kid was doing this, it's sort of, I understand the slapping, you know?
Yeah. Like if I'm over
Like, I get
here
it.
complaining every Nintendo Direct about Splatoon 3, Zachary Quinto should come into my house and slap me.
They should just hire Zachary Quinto to go around slapping
Yeah,
people.
just slap me.
You
Slap
get
me
what
and
you
call me a
get.
child. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it's dumb. I understand why they do it because it's so much easier to be angry about things nowadays than anything else.
Even when they did it, there were still people in the chat. The entire chat was just like, "Is this Ragnarok? Where's Ragnarok? Where's God of War?"
And people are just I don't know.
I can't tell if maybe it's all a joke. Maybe they know and they're just messing with it.
Like a majority of the people are joking, but then there's like that 2% that is just like God of War.
I mean, I want the game. I'm just saying it's a bit.
Please though.
Who even knows? I mean, people forget how long maybe they don't forget because it was in between, but the last God of War was in the works for like 6 years, 5 years. I think it started in 2013 when they like first started doing it.
It was worth it.
Totally.
That wait was worth it. So we're fine. Just replay God of War. We're fine.
Chill, Corey. Just take your time with the game. No big deal.
You have so many games coming out in 2022. You don't need Ragnarok.
It's going to be a good year. Looking through the other things that were released, it was a weird mixture. I thought it was interesting they started with a VR game, even though I think Moss looks awesome. I missed the original Moss. Did you play Moss?
I played it. It's phenomenal. It was one of those games where you were playing a storybook. And it was one of those games where I feel like everyone who played it was like, yeah, you have to play this game.
But it's VR, right?
Yeah, it's PSVR.
See,
I would not recommend buying a PSVR to play Moss.
That's my thing with these games. And look, VR is such a hard thing because I feel like certain people are just not going to play it no matter how good a game is. It's just there's such a high bar to entry for VR that
it's really expensive. You need a bunch of space.
It makes you vomit.
Yeah, well, it's very disorienting. But I don't know. I had a lot of fun with my PlayStation VR for like a month.
And then you just put it on a shelf. Mm-hmm. Do you know where it is in your house?
It's in my cupboard. I'm waiting to break it out because I've been wanting to play.
Your cupboard?
Yeah, I got a cupboard. Is that old?
Yeah, what's in it?
A drawer?
Teacups?
Yeah. My china. My
I should be laughing. I'm sitting in front of a stand mixer right now.
You have a mixer behind you. Shut up. And a globe.
I like to bake and know where I am on the planet.
If you like to bake, why is it in your living room? It should be in your kitchen.
Because I live in Los Angeles and everything is just one big room.
That setup is real weird, by the way. You have a Rubik's Cube, a globe, and a mixer.
I'm glad you kind of pointed out the things that are happening behind me because there's a lot of weird crap back
there. And then like a picture of you and Alex. Oh, you and your wife. Two pictures. Okay. Yep. Okay. And then no baby pictures yet.
We don't care.
There's a mixer with some wine. That's an odd shelf. I don't know how I feel about that shelf.
All right. Well, we're not here to judge my shelf. We're here to judge other people's works, and that's video games.
Some video games that you don't never play back there, and a guitar maybe.
Oh man, I found some awesome video games back home. I tweeted about it, but I found Gun, Splinter Cell, freaking Half-Life 2. It was awesome.
Oh wow! One game I never purchased.
It was a good time.
Never played Half-Life 2.
Shocked to hear that, to be completely honest with you. You're out there playing PSVR games when you're not playing Half-Life 2.
Whatever. But yeah, Moss 2 I think that was a bigger announcement. Well, not really because not everyone owned the PSVR, but
for the people who have a PSVR, I feel like it was a big announcement.
All 5 of us. Yeah, I think it is. Especially everyone, because if you have a PSVR, there's like a 95% chance that you have played Moss because there's nothing else really to play, right?
Yeah, and you have too much money, and you should really rethink a lot of things in your life.
Yeah, I think they should have leaned into more to that, but
I think it was good. It was a fun one to open with. It kind of set the stage in that like this is going to be a little bit more of like, well, I don't know. It was a mixed bag, right? It was a lot of indie games or like smaller games, but then you also had Deathloop. notwithstanding, the Hunters Arena Legends looks pretty interesting to me as well. And I don't know how
Does
to
it?
categorize that game.
Does it?
I like
Another
when
battle
people,
royale?
but it's different, and it's sort of like an MMO and a battle royale and also a fighting game, like all smushed into one.
Sure, we'll see.
You'll play it. Also, did you see the guy with the leotard and he had like a giant disco ball that he smacks people with?
Yeah, I saw that dude.
Okay,
like,
you
the
didn't think that was
customization
awesome?
options are cool, but yeah,
All right, sorry. I guess that's not impressive to you.
if you can't see me, if you're listening to our audio, I'm shrugging. Like, sure, it's
That's
free.
like 90% of all of your reactions are just shrugging. Like the entire podcast is just you shrugging constantly.
Yeah, it should just be me.
No, I don't want you to play it now.
No, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it because I can make a big bald black dude who hits people with disco balls. We need more black men out there hitting people with disco balls.
That's true. If we can make an entire show about Zachary Quinto slapping a child in the face,
and then a black dude coming up and hitting that child with a disco ball, let's go. Like,
you can't do that in that game.
Every big black guy that I wanted to name is not with us anymore. Bing Rames is not with us anymore.
That's pretty sad, actually.
God, like I can't think of any. Debo's not with us anymore. God, never mind. All right, let me go to the drawing board. But yeah, that's a good idea. Zachary Quinto slapping, and then. But yeah, I don't know. Hunter's Arena. Do we? I guess you want to see it because it looks different.
I like when people mess with genres. That's all I'm saying. And there was a lot of that. Actually, if there was a theme to this entire thing, that's kind of what this was. It was a bunch of wacky genre mixing games. You don't think?
Yeah, I like that.
There was some like deep indie stuff, like the Jet the Far Shore, which had like the guy who sounded like he was falling asleep when he was telling you about his own game.
I don't know though, because Super Brothers. Wait, no, wrong. Super Brothers. I'm thinking of Two Brothers. That really good game where you play the two brothers.
From Joseph Fares.
Yeah,
wait, are you thinking of A Way Out?
Never mind. I'm thinking that because I saw it's from the creators of Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery.
Not familiar with it. There's too many games nowadays.
You'll fly a plane to explore all sorts of interesting looking. Whatever. I have Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't need Jet.
I'm really excited for that game. I don't know. It looks fine. There's lots of cool, fun stuff. Lost Judgment, I think, was the standout.
Lost Judgment was the standout to me too. Yeah. Besides Sifu.
I like Sifu. That's the way.
That looked phenomenal. But yeah, Lost Judgment. That first game, Judgment. Is that his name? Yeah, I think
it was called Judgment.
Yeah, I think it was called Judgment.
No, I remember.
I'm so sick of video game titles, but yeah, I played that game a lot and I loved that game. And it was a good mixture of like detective. It was a good mixture of like just that Yakuza old school. And I think it's great that they're going into that I think it's great that we're getting Lost Judgment released. I hope we get it more frequently as Yakuza, because it seems like Yakuza is going all into that role-playing turn-based, which I love. Like a Dragon was my favorite game of last year.
Last year.
Wait,
was it two? No, yeah, it was last year. It was 2020.
I played a lot of it this year. I think that's why I put like 80 hours in that game.
Last year was a weird year too.
I think this is a perfect counterbalance. So we have Yakuza, we have the Lost Judgment, the Judgment series. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, lots of cool stuff coming out from I always forget because it's three different Goku. I sound like an idiot now. The studio that makes it, they're really great. I'm Googling it so I can get them correct. And
it's
Ryu ga Gotoku.
No, it's Yaga ga Goku.
Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Yeah,
it's Yaga ga Goku Gohan.
Look, we've been talking about this for a while.
What about Arcaden? Arcaden. These names are stupid.
Arcadegeddon. This is why.
Stop giving us stupid video game names. Oh my god. Nobody wants to say that.
The slap, you knew what you were getting. It's just there's a slap.
You know? I need a slap with trying to pronounce it Arcadegeddon.
Arcadegeddon.
Whatever. What is this game?
I don't know. It's just like a little fun beat 'em up type thing.
Is it like Fall Guys? Remember Fall Guys?
No, I don't actually. I completely forgot that.
Yeah, it's like a like a multiplayer shooter allows you to play solo up to 3 friends to explore multiple biomes, play mini game. What is this, like Mario Party for PlayStation?
No, I don't know. It's like a fun little like actiony game that has RPG elements.
It just looks like make your own to take that character Fortnite aesthetic so they can give you skins so they can.
It's just a fun, bright thing to make money, basically. Yeah, exactly. And it's also going to be on the Epic Game Store. How about that? And then there was a game called Fist, where it's basically you're a rabbit and you're punching stuff, and there's also like some Metal Gear Solid looking stuff.
Was this an old game?
I thought so.
Like I thought, because when I saw a bunch of people post the pictures of the bunny, I was like, this bunny looks familiar, but maybe I'm just wrong.
No, I think it looked a little bit like Beyond Good and Evil, the art style, and maybe that's what you're thinking of.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Okay,
I don't know. It was I would give this all like a B plus overall.
B plus. Okay,
B plus, maybe just a B. The Death Stranding director's cut actually, I think, takes it down a little bit because I do not like director's cuts of games. I think they're stupid, and I don't know why you would buy the same game twice. But I'm saying that as somebody who's done that many times, so who knows?
I mean, that's the goal, right? And we're going to talk about this eventually because this was my question that I wanted to pose today. The goal for most of these people, especially in marketing, is we want them to buy two of the same things, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the ultimate goal. Like if I can sell this twice to someone, why wouldn't I do it? And it seems like that's where we're going.
And I think it's working because people were really excited. I mean, look at the Ghost of Tsushima announcement and how excited people were.
That's different because I will fight people on this because it's an expansion pack. It's coming with an expansion pack.
Okay, sure. Great. But it's still $30. If you want to get everything.
Most DLCs $30. Like,
are they? No, they're like $10, $15.
No, like 10 years ago, maybe.
The director's cut is only $10 for Death Stranding, and it adds a whole bunch of new stuff.
10 more bucks, right?
More dollars. Sure.
What does it add? More walking? More destinations for you to walk?
I'm not a huge fan of Death Stranding, so
different boxes that you can pick up. Like, what is Death Stranding gonna give you? Like, more dick? Like, what are we gonna see in Death Stranding? Like, what do you want to see in Death Stranding?
You can drive around on a little car now on a racetrack, and you can see more dialogue scenes with Guillermo del Toro, maybe. I don't know, Eddie. All right. I'm not selling it. I'm just telling you what's going on. There's stuff in it. There's new missions and blah, 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 whatever the hell. So like if you could say this was a DLC, they could totally say that and it would be the same thing. They're calling them director's cuts now.
Is this kind of like their counter to Microsoft Smart Delivery, where like if you bought it on an Xbox One X, you can still play it on Xbox Series X? Is Sony just kind of like, yeah, we can do that, but no,
we're gonna charge it.
No, we're gonna
you got to pay for this buddy bot.
But we're gonna put director's cut on it, and then like, yeah, you get better visuals.
well, dude, if it's working, if it works.
Like, I mean, like I saw a bunch of people complaining, but they'll still buy it.
I'm just not into it. Speaking of, okay, sorry, I'm going to hard right turn the entire podcast right now with my giant ship wheel. The other bit of news, well, there's lots of news that came out this week, but one of the things that I think is related to this conversation a little bit is what Assassin's Creed is now doing with Infinity, which is a working title, whatever the hell it'll probably still end up being called that. It leaked early from Bloomberg, and then they confirmed it a couple hours later with a blog post. But basically, it's that Assassin's Creed is now becoming a live service game, or the next one's going to be a live service game. And that is like people reacting to that news. Everything is going to be a live service game if it's a AAA title, because why not? It's a bigger news story to me, the games that are still one-person single-player experiences that Sony is still making a lot of. But if you are a AAA publisher, why would you not make a live service game? Why? You know, and how is it really that much different? Would you rather have a game that lives on and gets better and better, or can at least like adapt over time as opposed to a director's cut? I guess they're two different things, but still, I don't understand why live service is so hated, other than the fact that there's a lot of really bad live service games. But as a concept itself, I don't understand.
Yeah, and if you're upset about this, get prepared for GTA being the next GTA is definitely going to be a live service game. If you don't think that
GTA kind of already is a live service game, right? I mean,
exactly. Yeah. So if you don't think GTA 6 is going to be full live service, then whoa. But I mean, we saw it with the way that Valhalla.
Sorry, just like Valhalla.
I know it's Valhalla, but I'm just like, we have too many Viking games. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, but you could kind of see it with the way that Valhalla was being updated, right? With like their holidays, they kind of took that live service route. So it was 100 hours to beat that game without the additional content. So it makes sense, right? They want you to be into this Assassin's Creed. They want you to be playing it every day. They want to throw in DLC because Ubisoft loves that money. They love that money.
But
So
like, of
I
course they
mean,
do. Like, they're a business, and this is what's proven profitable for the business. There was also GTA 6 news about this, and that was that not one of the details that was like leaked about GTA 6? That they're going back to Vice City, that there's probably going to be components of this in there.
ever evolving like maps. That was leaked though. So I
I
don't know
know, so
how.
I don't want to put that much credence into it,
Yeah, and I
because a
think it
lot of
was
people said
leaked.
there's going to be a Switch Pro too.
Yeah, and I think the person who leaked the GTA 6 is also the person that was saying, "Oh no, you're getting an updated Switch." I know.
And then no
And
retractions.
then
Like, there's no accountability when you're wrong. That's what I love.
absolutely not. No, but when you're right, you can go everywhere and be like, "Oh, see, you see, I told you all." But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a smart move for Assassin's Creed, and I think it makes sense.
I do too.
I saw a bunch of. I don't like it. I'm not. I don't want to play a live service. Assassin's Creed sounds like hell to me.
Just 800 people jumping off the same like point
Dude,
over and over,
like,
and over again.
Assassin's Creed Battle Royale sounds so bad.
That's gonna happen now. You just spoke that into
I don't know
existence.
if they do something like Ghost did with their multiplayer. If they allow you to play co-oply, I think that might be something.
Co-oply.
Co-oply. That's I'm coining that word. I love that word. Co-oply.
Minted.
So if they allow you to play with your friends, if we're trying to be grammatically correct, then I think they might be onto something. The Division does it. I think the Division does very well for them. I think they are going in that route. Guess what? That Star Wars game that they're working on, it's gonna be a live service game.
Yeah, Ubisoft is already doing this. I think it'd be more surprising if this wasn't what was going to happen for Assassin's Creed.
Isn't Riders Republic a live service?
Yes, I believe so. Sorry, I have baby crying issues. You okay? She's just hungry. Every podcast has
Zachary Quinto's not in that house, man.
He just busts through the door like the
like,
Kool-Aid man.
Hey, you on a podcast again? I thought Alex left you.
You gotta slap that kid.
Slapping everybody. Just
man,
slapping
freaking Zachary Quinto. Keep him away from your kids.
Quit slapping babies. So, but okay, I'm interested though. So, how do you charge this? How do you monetize this? Do you
skins, different weapons?
Is it free to play? Are we gonna get our first Assassin's Creed as free to play, and then in order to get the additional content, you're gonna have to put some money into it?
I don't know, probably. The thing, everyone is not focusing on this part of the game. It's a single player game. Wait, is that true? That seems interesting.
Is it? It looks like it.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Do you want a live service single game? Does a live
how
service?
Does that even work?
Do we have is there a live? Wait a minute. Are there any live service video like single player games right now?
I don't know. I don't really understand how it works, because what's going to keep me coming back to a game that I'm playing by myself for such a long period of time? Like, the thing that keeps you back to these games is the social aspect of it. I think one of the cool things about this game, though, is that it's going to be lots of different like periods of time. You know, it's not just one. I hate this word biome. People keep using it too much, but it's like not one setting. It's, medieval. It might be like whatever what was the first one, was like around like the Crusades kind of. It could be a whole bunch of different places. Yeah, exactly. So that part of to me is interesting. I think it's funny to watch how much this series has changed over the years. This Assassin's Creed started off as a completely different thing than it is now, and then people got really bored with that. Then they reinvented it, and now they seem to be reinventing it again.
Yeah, I mean they've done great. Like, these last 3 games people love them. They're held to very high esteem, especially Ragnarok. Valheim. Valhalla. So they're all really liked. People loved Origins and people loved Odyssey. Yeah. So I don't know. Is it a right pivot? I think they said they wanted to do 3 of those games, and they did 3 of those games, and they nailed those games. So they have the money, they have the Skrilla, so they might as well, man, I'm old. They might as well make this pivot. And this pivot, listen, Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft, they're so good, not so good. They're so evil.
Got a little
about
overzealous
putting up all kinds of DLC. Like, this just makes sense. Oh, do you want some pants? Yeah, we'll charge $40 for some pants. Here you go. Oh, you want to buy the $80 version so you can get some like cool little sandals? Yeah, why not? Put on these sandals, you punk. So I think we're gonna get a bunch of stuff like that, and people are gonna buy it. People are gonna like it. The thing is are you going to, number one, do kids that play. Are you going to get the Fortnite? Are you going to get the Apex? Are you going to get that audience? Are you going to get
No,
them?
this is an older franchise.
Are you going to get 30 to 40-year-old people who love the Assassin's Creed franchise to plug in every day?
That's a great question, because I feel like the live service games are for a younger audience. They're catered more to, because who has the time to be putting in to these? It's harder when you're in your 30s or 40s or you have a kid. Yeah. But I think Assassin's Creed, its core audience seems to be a lot older. And I'm basing that on absolutely nothing other than anecdotal evidence that I have in my life. But I would not be surprised if that was the case. That's a bit of an older audience. It's history based. It's been around for a long time.
I've never met a student who plays Assassin's Creed and enjoys it.
Yeah, it's not a young person's game. So maybe this is their play at doing that. Maybe there'll be like more, and maybe they'll lean into that a little more.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. I mean, but it's perfect. It's perfect. Like you said, time frames, like, yeah, for the first 6 months of the year, we're going to be focusing on Jerusalem, then pay $20. We're going to jump to Rome. I don't know.
Whatever they do.
Like, so if they can do that, right? And they can tack into a lot of locations that they don't want to fully invest in, right?
Mm-hmm. If you want to see evidence of this working, by the way, this model, our producer Riley just said he wanted to ride a unicorn in Valhalla, so he spent $10 to ride a unicorn.
I mean,
judge him if you like, but riding unicorns.
I don't judge him. I spent money on some skins before.
Yeah, well, that's sad, and you should never admit that in public.
Why? They put it out there for me to buy. Like, whatever.
Part of the problem, Edmund.
Well, whatever. Like, you want to get mad at me, you better go beat up all those kids buying all these Fortnite skins.
Wasn't that the takeaway here too? Is that, like, if you want to spend your money on this, go ahead and spend your money on it.
Yeah, it's your money.
You're still getting a bajillion other games. Has the quality of the games gone down? I don't know. Not really.
If I were to come up with a game and I was a snake, because I am and I like money, I would make like...
So not literally a snake, like an actual...
You would be able to make a male character, a white male character. If you wanted to make the character female, if you wanted to make the character a different skin color, you gotta pay me. You gotta pay me $20. Oh, you want a black character? Oh, $50, fool.
You would die.
Oh, I would get canceled in a second. But
yeah,
maybe that's what Ubisoft does with Assassin's Creed.
It makes
you want some dreadlocks? Oh, $30.
$60, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. You want your character to look like yourself? You gotta pay for it.
Yeah. You want a giant disco ball? You want to look like Zachary Quinto going around slapping kids in the face?
You want that ability? You want that emote to slap a child?
You gotta pay for that.
Bucks. Yeah. Why not? Why not?
Why not?
And like our producer said, you can't ride a unicorn in real life, so
well,
might as well pay that $30.
He can't. I don't even know what that means.
I don't know.
Look, people get angry. The theme of every single, the theme for our entire podcast really is that people get angry about mostly stupid things. Okay, the last bit of news, just to wrap all this crap up, was the Nintendo Switch, the new model that's coming out, which angered a lot of people who are still just going to go and buy this thing anyway. So, like, who even gives a crap? Instead of getting a Switch Pro, whatever the hell that meant, and all the stupid leaks about that everyone was wrong about, shocker, we are getting a 7-inch OLED screen for your Switch, and also it has a LAN port in the back, and that's about it. Right? Am I missing something? It has like a dock that you can put your other Switch into, but I don't really understand why I would spend $350 on this. Yeah, but are there going to be different colors? I'm surprised that they didn't show that.
They're doing white and then a black one with the red and blue or something, Joy-Cons.
Why? Is it hard to get different colors? I don't understand. I can go onto Xbox.com or whatever the hell and make anything I want for my controller. So why is it so hard to get different colors?
I don't know.
I also don't care.
Time release them.
It's crazy to me. People really care about having different colors for things. People love customization in any way.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. I think if you're going to spend like $70-$80 for something, you want to look like the way you want. I don't have a problem with that.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, again, people can spend their money however they want to spend it. I'm just saying, like, if they make a white one, if they make a pink one, I don't care. It doesn't matter.
No, I care. Stop making white consoles. Stop it. They're so dirty. Like, that's so gross. Like, stop it. I don't want a white.
Stop eating when you're playing video games.
I can't stop eating Reese's. Okay,
that's on you. That's gross.
I have chocolate all over my PlayStation 5 controllers. It's gross.
How often do you wash that controller? That's super gross.
Ew, why would I wash a controller?
You're just using a dirty controller and then shoving chocolate candies into your face.
No. Yeah, it's gross. That's why I got a red controller. So I'm like, no one can see chocolate on here.
What are you talking about? You can definitely see
And
trouble.
then you like put it up at your like console, your little TV stand and everything. You got the dust all in it. Who wants white consoles?
I'm not disagreeing with you, but there are quite a bit of white consoles out there. So
Who's
it used to all
asking
be
for
black.
this?
I missed the black console. Every console used to be black. Every single console was
Or
black.
like, let's do a different color. Let's make a console red. Whoa.
That's
Or
crazy.
let's make it green.
You've
Remember when
lost me.
Xbox 360 was releasing colors of like you could get an Xbox like any color?
Did they? No, I don't remember that at all.
Maybe I'm making it up.
You're like the people who talk about the Switch Pro then.
Yeah. I'm just making
Right
stuff
on.
up. Like, yeah.
How many Switches do you own?
One.
Okay.
I will say I'm excited about the Switch being announced because now I can go purchase Joy-Cons because my Joy-Cons have been broken for the last 6 months and I've been waiting.
They break after like 3 days of owning them.
They do, and I've been waiting because I'm like, I'm not going to go spend $70 on a Joy-Con if they're going to announce the Switch Pro. They announced the OLED Switch. I'm not going to buy that nonsense. So yeah, I can go buy some Joy-Cons now.
As someone who has mentioned many times how little I care about what my game actually looks like, and I care way more about what it plays. Why is the OLED? How do you say this?
OLED.
Old.
OLED.
Old. I don't know why that's a selling point. For who is this a selling point? People who already own a Switch?
Color saturation.
This is my thing. For anything that's like a tech spec for a new version of a console, you're only appealing to people who already have your console, who are going to buy it anyway if that's the case. Right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't know. I just think
I guess it's going to sell. They all sell.
It's going to sell. But it's like Nintendo's been doing this. Didn't they do this with all their Game Boys? Like a slight improvement for their Game Boys?
They've done this forever and ever and ever and ever. Look
That's
at
what
the
I'm saying,
history
like,
of consoles for Nintendo. It's maddening.
People are mad, but this is what Nintendo does. Like they release consoles, they re-release consoles with a little bit of an update. They usually will package it around a game, like they're doing with Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm shrugging. Like
it's
I'm
gonna work.
shrugging.
It works every time.
It works.
Just slap a new sticker on it. I would love it if like, what if it was just like the Joy-Cons are like different colors and they just package it as a new Switch? Would that still work? How little can they change something and still have it sell is what I want to know.
Nintendo people are gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Nintendo people don't care. Like I saw a bunch of Nintendo people like, oh yeah, this is what I was asking for. Like, no, you weren't.
Really? That's just what you're asking about land port?
And then they like would put up like I saw a couple of people like compare it to other announcements, and then they got dragged, and then they started blocking people because it's just like I don't know, and that's just Twitter. So I don't know what the masses think about this because Twitter seemed to be very angry about it. But like
Twitter's angry about everything.
You got upset because you believe the leak. This is like me going all into a GTA 6 leak. Like, nope, someone said it. It's coming out.
It has to be true.
3 protagonists. One protagonist is a woman. Finally, and then I'm gonna be mad when they release and they're like, no, it's just one protagonist. I can't be mad at that because I bit into like the rumors. Like,
but that's the way. This is how this entire machine works. You know, people just tweet out rumors or write entire stories on rumors. A lot of people like truthfully believe them and then get angry at the studio when it turns out that the rumor was wrong. You just described all of video games.
Yeah. I mean, and yeah.
And this is why you have to put a disclaimer that God of War is not in your state of play announcement.
But I don't know if this Nintendo Switch announcement. Our producer makes a good point. He's saying that third-party support might drop because Xbox and PlayStation, they're moving forward. Nintendo's staying right here. So if the technology keeps going this way, you're not going to see a death loop coming out for the Switch.
Nintendo doesn't give a crap. They really don't. I think we think that they care, but if you look at their sales across the board,
we don't.
No one is buying Nintendo to play games that are on other platforms.
Right.
And their games, if you look at their top list of what sells, I mean, like 70 times more copies of like Animal Crossing New Horizons than what, like, I'm trying to think of like one that was published out there. I can't think off the top of my head, but what any game, take one that's on another console is not going to sell anywhere near the first party games.
No, and I think there's certain games that will sell well on a Switch that would sell on other consoles that came out first.
Indie games
is a great example.
That's anything that can be played handheld.
Games. Yeah.
Handheld games. Dead Cells is great on there. Games like that, yeah, that makes sense. But any marquee AAA game that's available anywhere else, why the hell would you be playing that on Switch?
No,
I tried to play the Switch. I tried to play The Witcher on my Switch, and the Switch exploded into flames and lit my entire condo on fire, and 12 people died.
Zachary Quinto came in.
And then he showed up.
Slap babies because he's like, why did you do this? Why did you try to play this Witcher?
You fool.
You dummy. But yeah, I like people that play Doom Eternal on the Switch. I'm like, God bless you.
Yeah, like cool, man. If you only have a Switch, like that's fine.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Play those games, dude. But
yeah,
I don't think those people are not the hardcore gamers. They don't care.
And if you, like you said, if you're going to buy a Nintendo Switch, like you're going to go buy it for Mario or Pokemon or Zelda, and
all those games, excluding Pokemon, deliver and they dominate and are amazing.
Pokemon delivers for Pokemon fans.
Yeah, I'm just not.
Never mind.
People were pissed about the last Pokemon.
Yeah, I immediately retracted that as soon as I said it. Like, no, wait, no, they didn't like it. Never mind. I was wrong again. But yeah, like Dragon Age. What am I saying? Monster Hunter.
There you go.
Stories 2. Like that's. I don't want to play that on PlayStation. I want to play that on my Switch.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Switch has its own market. It's almost like not even really the same thing. You know, there are games that are just like, oh yeah, I absolutely want to play on the Switch. When Subnautica came out and it was only on my PlayStation, I was like, well, I played it there, but I really need this on Switch. And as soon as it came out on Switch, boom, that's all I'm playing it on.
And you know, it's games you want to play handheld, right? So
on the toilet.
On the toilet.
It's the greatest toilet console of all time, as we've said many times on this podcast.
Yeah, whatever. I just want to see more Nintendo IPs being released for Switch, because I think we're only getting like 1 or 2 a year. Like, I mean, like big name.
Yeah, it does seem to have like dried up a little bit. It came out hot and heavy, real quick, and then it just sort of dribbled down a little bit more. Or the ones that they had weren't like massive home runs in the same way.
Well, they gave us like 2 masterpieces. They gave us not Galaxies. I'm all over the place. Super Mario Odyssey.
Best game ever.
And then they gave us Breath of the Wild.
Also the best game ever.
So you drop those 2. You drop a Splatoon 2. I'm never going to leave Splatoon out of this conversation.
No, it has to come up.
Well. What else do you have? You have your Fire Emblem. What is on with my brain today? You got your Fire Emblem.
Smash Bros.
You got your ARMS. Smash Bros. You got your ARMS. I'm going to say that again.
You get your ARMS.
Mario Tennis, Mario. Yeah, I mean, so you have, you know, this niche audience, Mario Party, Mario Kart. You haven't even got a new Mario Kart. Like,
because that last one is still selling like crazy. It's still the second best selling thing on there. And it was the number 1 for a long, long time until very recently.
That game's a perfect game. You don't really need to.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
And, you know, we're getting a new Mario Party. Maybe Mario Kart's around the, maybe they're going to do like a Mario Kart where they put all the levels on.
Maybe, but we're getting Breath of the Wild too. I would like to see a new Mario game. That's what I
getting a Metroid. Yeah. So
I would like a new Mario game. I can't think of, with the exception of N64, which I think only had 1 Mario game on it, 1 core Mario game. Most of their consoles have 2 Mario games, right? Maybe I'm just speaking completely out of school right now, but I think that's true. And I would like to see, if not an Odyssey 2, just a new Mario game, because Mario games are the best games.
Yeah, I mean, even with like, I don't know if Nintendo does. I know Rare owns Banjo, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong. Producer can help us out here. Like a Banjo game, possibly. You know, it's just weird that we're not getting as many platformers as I think we should be getting on this console.
Yeah, you do think there'd be more first-party platformer games?
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It seems like Nintendo dried up. Like you said, the well dried up really quickly. Mm-hmm. And they really haven't gone back to really anything.
It doesn't matter. They're still making insane money and they're doing great, but it would be nice. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they're not hurting for any money right now.
Well, good for Nintendo and good for everybody else who's making money out there. I'm happy for you.
Yeah,
all right. We're arriving at the end of the podcast here, and it's been a great one. That would be great, actually. A good point from our producers that Sony should come in with an Astro platformer. Astro's Playroom was, up until Ratchet & Clank's release, was probably the best game and the reason to buy PS5.
They should have. That should have been they should have charged for that.
I love that game. It's freaking amazing.
Everybody loves that game.
Yeah, it's truly stupendous.
So yeah, I agree. Astrobot.
Good point.
That's weird. That's weird.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast and for watching the podcast, perhaps, because we are now in video. Woo! it's pretty exciting stuff. Look at Eddie's happy face. As always, we love you and we like that you listen to us. We are found all over the interwebs, including YouTube now with video. And we have a new site that we keep talking about that is now officially supposed to be up at some point. I don't know. At some point in the next couple of days, it's going to be up. But we're everywhere. Reach out to us. Talk to us.
Yes, and we didn't get into any fan questions this week because we took a week off. We'll get back into that next week, but make sure you reach out to us on thedonkeykongartist@gmail.com if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you want to yell at Patrick for his cool hat.
Stupid.
Also, like Patrick said, we're everywhere. Do us a favor and give us a follow on Twitter or subscribe to us on YouTube, just so we can see if you're listening to us on a weekly basis. Subscribe or follow us so we can get a gauge of who's actually in our audience.
It'd be nice. That's all I'm saying. It'd be a nice
begging.
Little gesture.
Yeah,
no, it's just you're throwing it out there. It's your choice.
If you want to do it, like if we're not asking for any money, just give us a follow.
Just do one of those little follows. Just give one of those follows. It's a big deal. It's not a big deal. Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you very much, everybody. We love you, and we will see you next week. We are here every Friday morning going forward.
Yeah. Yep. And thank you. We love you.
Love you. Bye.
Fade away. Bye.
Fading away. Fade away.
Bye, Earl.
Hi, Earl. Bye.
Bye, Earl. Become a